I'm returning back from my other video. This would be like a part 2, I guess. But I just got the battery isolator and I'm heading back to home base, and I'm going to be replacing the old one. I seem to think that that is the issue, although I have noticed that the starter battery as well has a little bit of lag and sometimes when I'm trying to start the vehicle. So I don't know if it's the alternator or not. It shouldn't be, because the battery would draw, or the battery would be, the starter battery would be a lot worse off than what it is. So I think it's getting a charge, because otherwise, I believe, you know, I'm not an expert at it, but I believe once the vehicle is started, the alternator is actually is what's powering your electronics, not your battery. The battery's only there to start, and the alternator will then kick in. So if it was the alternator, the battery would be, like I said, a lot worse off. So I picked up the isolator. This is what I got here. Alright. How's that look? $112. The lady was very nice. She even gave me a discount. 140 amp. And this is how big it is, right there. I was able to talk to a guy that told me that 140 amp would be fine. You just don't want to drop down in amperage. And a couple other things I bought from him a little while ago, but I haven't either had time to put it in, but I'm actually kind of waiting for the weather to change. But I got a couple doors here, or what do you call them, gates. I got a 3-inch for my black water and then 2-inch for my gray. The black water has been leaking, which I've noticed because the little pipe or tubing there, when I go to empty it, has a little bit of black water in it when I go to dump it. So that's been leaking. I want to replace that eventually. I'll make a separate video on that when that day comes. Alright, well, I think I'm going to put the battery insulator, or battery isolator, on hold, the install. A couple reasons. It's kind of already getting later in the day. I mean, with the way of the winter months, so I won't have enough light long enough to, I think, do a well install. So I'm gonna put that off. And then also, this is kind of scaring me here. I asked him about this, the wire size for the one I have is 130. This is 140. So I'm looking at the lengths here, the length of the wire, and then the size. So I think I'm gonna return the 141, the one I just bought. I also hooked my tester up to the old isolator down there, and I'm getting 14 point something volts on both terminals, battery 1 and 2. So now what I'm kind of thinking is maybe it's the engine battery not getting or not keeping a full charge. And I think what's happening is the isolator might be working, but it's strictly trying to charge that battery. Alright, so I pulled up at the Advanced Auto Parts here, and I had them test it. The cold cranking amps or whatever, they said it was kind of low. So they're putting it on a charge. So it'll take about a half hour or so. So I'm kind of just sitting and waiting, and we'll find out if the battery is holding a charge correctly or whatnot. Alright, well, I'm back at home base here, and had the battery test and everything. The guy says about 80%. so it's not like 100%. And I think they had a date on it, 2013, so it's not that old. But after talking to the guy, he made a couple very good points. Basically talking about the isolator system. He doesn't like the system, and I've also heard this in the past, and I've also made my own judgment on it. Basically, it's that one alternator is doing double work, charging the chassis battery and also the house batteries. So it's kind of overworking itself. And he says over time, you know, you're using the alternator even more, and that could become an issue further down the road. So I think for now I'm going to leave the isolator the way it is. I'm going to do some more research and see if I can't just take that isolator off completely and make sure I hook up the chassis battery back to the alternator the correct way and whatnot. I am, however, thinking about, since there is a wire that runs all the way up here to the isolator from the house batteries, I am thinking about hooking up a switch somewhere on the dash where if the chassis battery ever does die, I can switch that that switch and be able to use the house batteries in conjunction with the chassis battery to be able to start the vehicle. Now, on the other end of that, I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, because I'm just guessing here, but I would believe that all the batteries would have to be the same type. If I have in the future, I want to get AGM batteries, some real high dollar batteries for the house, and if I don't have the same type of battery up front, I think that could cause an issue. Again, I'll have to do some research on that. But anyway, so I'm back here, and I'm running out of daylight, so I wanted to show you another project that I started working on, and I just had it made, and the guy finished fabricating a couple of brackets I want to show you. So before I put the box back on, I wanted to, for myself, test these out and see if they fit. But if you remember a while back, I made a video where I took the bumper off. These are the brackets I had made. And wow, these are very well made. They were a little more pricey than I expected. I don't know if you could tell how thick that is, but that'll give you an idea how thick these are. So let me see if I can hold them up and see if they'll fit. Alright, so I'm just wedging them in for now just to see. But in the trailer I have a good sized piece of steel. I can check. But yeah, for the time being, I'll put the box on, and then I'm going to fabricate a fiberglass enclosure that would house the generator and a propane tank, I think. And I'm very happy with the way these brackets turned out. Like I mentioned, I didn't think they were going to be that expensive, but I paid $300 for those brackets. $150 for labor, and then the rest was material. And then right down the street from where I had that done, there was a fabricator, and I got. All right, and then real quick, also with this setup here, I won't be bottoming out as often. Actually, I probably won't bottom out at all anymore. But using the hitch with that setup, I'd have to be careful not to drag the bottom of the setup there. All right. Well, I'm now heading toward the area for work that I have tomorrow. And I want to apologize for toward the end of this video, the quality probably went to shit. You probably was hearing a lot of clicking and weird shit. And that's because I had to change cameras to this one here. This is one of my first cameras. It's a waterproof Canon. I don't know what the name of it is. Anyway, yeah, it's got clicking noises and stuff, and I think it's from the factory. It's nothing's broken or anything. It's just the way it is. Something with the focusing or something. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'll leave the video at that. I hope it was helpful to anyone out there. Insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. See ya.